Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be making a new trap. It's called a trapeze spring snare. And to make it, we're going to be using fishing line, a knife, some paracord, and some natural materials like this living sapling. It has to be living for this because the sapling is going to need a lot of tension. As you'll see, this trap has two snares built into one mechanism, so this basically will double your chances of catching some food. And I'm about to show you a really good technique for cutting through a rather thicker tree or stick very fast. This is for living trees and saplings. This method could also be used when building a shelter. But what you want to do is bend and put a lot of tension at the point you're going to cut at. And doing that allows you to cut through it rather quickly. Next, using the top piece that you just cut off, take about a 10-inch piece like this and remove the bark. Next, you're going to need an anchor, kind of like a stake in the ground of a tent. What I'm going to do with the anchor is bring one end to a point so I can insert it and bang it into the ground pretty good. As you can see, I took some bark off pretty much up to halfway, and that's just so there's less resistance when I'm trying to jam it into the ground. Next, on your anchor stick, you're going to need to make a notch so that this stick can fit there and hold in there. The notch you make should look like this. And this stick should be able to fit in it like this. You might need to make some adjustments later. Alright guys, my battery's dying, so this might end with pictures, but I missed a couple steps, so here's how it looks right now. At the top of the sapling, I tied some paracord going down to a Y with one end tied on that first stick. The anchor is set in the ground and the stick is in the notch. As you can see, when you pull this, there's a lot of tension, and what you do is put the stick in that notch, and you need to tie this part right at the center so it's not off balance. Alrighty, both snares are now in place. There's one on one side and there's two. And having two like that doubles your chances of catching something. The fishing wire you choose to bring out into the woods should be like a heavy pound test, probably above 10 pounds. Alright, so here's a quick demo of the snare in action. I'm going to be using this one. When an animal gets entangled in the snare, this gets released. It doesn't matter if the animal comes from this way or this way. The tension on the tree gives out and it lifts up. And the animal will not die by strangling. It might, but chances are it won't. So you need to check your traps often and make sure the animal's dead. And if you're practicing this, please don't leave your trap set up. Practice it and then take them down. And here's the demonstration. And this is how it'll look once the trap has been triggered. This was released